Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 12 Introduction. Mala nirmochanam pumsam jalasnane dine dine sakrit gitamrita snanam samsara mala nasanam. It is said, one may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water. But if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges of water, Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. It says, Sakrita Gita Amrita Snanam. By taking bath in Bhagavad Gita, one will be completely cleansed from all the dirts, kalmasham, whatever the malam, the dirt that we have within. When the dirts are removed, our vision becomes clear. When the vision becomes clear, we will be able to see things as they are, see the truth of the existence. We are very fortunate that the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is enabling us to take bath every day in this sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita. The 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are divided into 3 sections: Pradhama Shadgam, Madhyama Shadgam, and Charma Shadgam. In the first Pradhama, we learnt about Atma Swarupa. We gained Atma Swarupa Jnana about Atma, and then also the second part of the first section, we learnt about how to attain Atma Sakshatkara, to see the Atma through the process of Karma and Jnana Yoga. That is from chapter number 1 through 6. And from chapter 7 through 12 is called Madhyama Shadgam, which is about Paramatma, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and about Bhakti, the means by which one can attain that Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. We have completed 5 chapters from the Madhyama Shadga, and the last one is chapter 12, which is entitled as Bhakti Yoga. Let's have a quick overview of what we have covered so far, and then how that is getting connected to the 12th chapter. For the devotees who are strong in performing bhakti yoga, Krishna becomes their ultimate fruit for their practice. He is the absolute truth, the supreme Brahman. The entire world and the living entities within these worlds are his properties. Krishna alone has the complete ownership. He is the Lord over all of them. And it's by His order that everything happens. Krishna is the one who has unlimited, wonderful qualities. All these were stated by Krishna himself to Arjuna previously. Arjuna, who heard these things directly from Krishna with the heart of a child, after hearing all these, Arjuna expressed his desire, wanting to see the Lord's lordship along with all his vibhutis, opulences. The most compassionate Lord Sri Krishna, who has a heart like a ocean with unlimited love for his devotees, who is Satya Sankalpa, meaning whose will always come true, fulfilled Arjuna's desire to see him with all the opulences by giving him divine eye. Arjuna was able to see everything that was told by Krishna earlier in chapter 10. He was able to see the qualities of the Lord, which are otherwise not possible in general cases. For example, if we have to show how a quality of anger to someone looks like, it is not possible. One can see an action by which one can understand this person is angry. But if I say, show me the anger, that is not going to be possible. The anger itself cannot be shown. Another example is, if we say someone to show their bhakti, the bhakti can be shown by some actions, by performing some sort of services, some prayers, chanting, deity worship, and these things. But if we have to ask them to show the bhakti itself, not the action, that is not going to be possible to show. But Arjuna desired to see those qualities of the Lord, the Lordship, the controllership, His compassion, various other qualities. He wants to see them as they are. And the Lord showed him. That is the beauty of the Lord and greatness of the Lord, which is otherwise not at all possible to show the qualities itself. After revealing what Arjuna wanted to see, then the Lord said, this form has not been seen by anyone else. Those who are completely and fully attached to Krishna, who is devoid of any devata worship, one is free of any desire, one who constantly meditates upon me, Krishna, one is free of attachment and hatred, will only be able to see me. Such a person will be able to see me as I am. This is what Krishna says. It is important to note the key statement here, as I am. Because when Krishna was present, many saw Krishna, many of them, but they did not see Krishna as he was. They did not see him as the cause of all causes, as the controller, as the creator, sustainer, destroyer. Many thought he is a human being. Some thought he is a human being with some special skills. Some thought he is a cowherd man. Therefore, though they saw Krishna, they did not see him as he is. And only those who sees him as he is will be able to attain him. The question is, who can see Krishna as he is? The answer is, only those who are favored by Krishna will be able to see Krishna as he is. It seemed to be a catch-22. But there is an answer for that. Krishna reveals himself to those who are surrendered to Him, sincere to Him, devoted to Him, who is constantly thinking and meditating upon Him, who cannot live for a moment without Him, His thoughts. For such people, Krishna reveals Him as He is. And this is the message that was given at the end of chapter 11 by Krishna Himself. Bhaktya tvananyaya sakya aham eva vidorjuna jnatum drashtum cha tatvena pravashtum cha parantapa. It is only by unalloyed, pure, unmotivated bhakti by which I can be known, understood, seen and attained. There's nothing else as a process or means by which one can attain me. Not even by studying Vedas, which is devoid of bhakti, not even by performing tapasyas, which is devoid of bhakti, not even by charities, dana, which is devoid of bhakti, not even by performing any kind of yajna, homa, worships, any ritual deeds, which is devoid of bhakti. That which is devoid of bhakti is of no good. It's useless. It is only bhakti which is going to get me for them. After hearing so far, Arjuna had a doubt. Earlier, Krishna had mentioned about Atma, which never goes through any changes, never destroyed, never get created. It is Aksharam. The Jnana Yogis focuses on Atma, on their self. These yogis, by their practice, finally will be able to see their Atma, which is called Atma Sakshatkara. When that happens, they get to see and understand that everyone is Atma like himself. All the Atmas are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. All the Atmas are completely under the control of the Supreme Lord. And it is the Supreme Lord who is within each and every Atma as Super Soul. When one gets such vision, he starts seeing every Atma equally, doesn't show any hatred to anyone. As a result, for Jnana Yogi, he get to see a vision of Supreme Lord as well, eventually. One who does Bhakti Yoga meditates upon the Lord, not the Atma, unlike the Jnana Yogis. The Bhakti Yogi follows the instructions that's given in the Shastra as an order of the Lord. He does all those out of fear of being rejected otherwise by the Lord if he doesn't follow. He does all that without expecting any other fruitive result except wanting to attain the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. By such acts, his desire is to make the Lord happy. He is not concerned about his happiness. He is very much concerned about making Krishna happy. Any other desires besides that he rejects them. He considers them to be a trash, useless. In this way, this devotee spends his entire lifespan just doing his bhakti, devotional service towards Krishna. He never develops any hatred towards any living entities. For such a devotee, the Lord reveals himself. For such a devotee, the Lord takes him back to his abode. So we saw Jnana Yogi, who's focused on Atma, and we saw Bhakti Yogi, who focused on Paramatma, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Now, the question that Arjuna had is, both Jnana Yogi and Bhakti Yogi prayed to the Lord to fulfill their desire. That is a given statement. Their desire may be different, but they can only attain their desire by praying, by begging to Krishna. The Jnana Yogi wants to see self. He needs to pray to Krishna to get his desire fulfilled. The Bhakti Yogi wants to see Krishna. He needs to pray to Krishna so Krishna can reveal himself. So the question here that Arjuna has is not whether Atma Upasana, the one who is interested in self, greater, or one who is interested in Paramatma Upasana is greater. Who is greater? That is not the subject matter for discussion here, because the answer has already been given way back in the 6th chapter at the end. Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam sameyukta tamo mataha. Of all yogis, one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Krishna said of various yogis, it is bhakti yogi who's greater. That has been already discussed and concluded. So that is not the discussion over here or doubt that Arjuna has, which is greater, whether the impersonal worship, whether the Atma worship or Paramatma worship. He knows it is bhakti which is greater. Worship of Krishna in a personal form is greater. So what is being asked here is two things. Which one between these two will give a quick result? Which one between these two is easy and pleasing to do? Those are the two questions that Arjuna had. And the answer that Krishna is going to give is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the one which gives quicker result. It is Bhakti Yoga which is easy to do, and it is Bhakti Yoga which is pleasing to do as well. And that is not the case with the other one. So the point to be understood clearly here is that both Atma Upasana and Paramatma Upasana both needs to worship Krishna to attain their heartfelt desire. It is not that Atma Upasana person worship his own Atma. That is not what is meant. It is only Krishna who can fulfill their desire to have Atma Sakshatkar. So, in short, both worship Krishna, but they have different desires. Now one may have a question, if Bhakti Yoga is the one which gives quicker result and easy and pleasing to do, then why even the other yogas been discussed as an option? We should know that a person has different desires. Not everyone are alike. Not everyone is interested to worship God. There are people who are concentrated about themselves, their self. And there are people who have never performed bhakti in their life. So, for many varieties of people, there are many options that Krishna provides. So one can gradually grow in that path and finally come to bhakti. Bhakti towards Krishna is in many ways superior than meditating on individual self, than thinking on the impersonal form of Brahman. The superiority here is concerning the time. That is what has been questioned here. Which one gives quicker result? That is, meditation of Krishna will yield quicker result. The two methods have their own different ends, as we saw. The superiority of one goal over the other is not the subject matter of discussion in this chapter. The inquiry is, which method gives faster result? With that said, as an introduction, let's see what are the topics that will be covered in this chapter. This chapter, unlike the previous chapter, has less number of slokas, only 20 slokas, and the topics are the greatness of bhakti compared to the Atma Upasana or impersonal worship. And the second topic is the means for that bhakti. And the third is, if one doesn't have Shakti, strength, ability to perform bhakti, what other options left? That is the third topic. And the fourth is the qualities, the gunas that one must cultivate to perform bhakti. And in addition, there is a fifth one, which is the Lord's intense affection towards such devotee is also being discussed in this chapter. So the first sloka is Arjuna's enquiry, the doubt that we saw, which one is easier, which one gives quicker result. Is it the worship of personal form, or is it the impersonal worship? Is it the Paramatma Upasana, or is it Atma Upasana? And sloka 2 through 7, Krishna responds with his answer to the question. And from 8 through 12, a progressive stage of bhakti is being explained. And from 13 through 20, qualities that endear one to Krishna are elaborated. With that introduction, let's enter into the first sloka in the next session. Namaste. Hare Krishna.